The universe is big, like really, really big. If you think the line at the DMV is long, you should try traveling to the nearest star system, Proxima Centauri. It sits about 4.2 light years away, which sounds close until you realize that if you hopped in the fastest spacecraft humans have ever built, it would still take you roughly 73,000 years to get there. By the time you arrived, you'd be dead, your kids would be dead, and your great-great-great-grandkids would be nothing more than space dust floating in a pressurized tin can. But the truly weird part isn't just the distance, it's the math. There are about 400 billion stars in our galaxy alone. According to modern astronomers, almost every single one of those stars has at least one planet orbiting it. If we're being extremely conservative and say that only 1% of those planets are Earth-like, we are still talking about 4 billion potential Earths in the Milky Way alone. 4 billion chances for life to start, for civilizations to rise, and for someone out there to build a telescope and look back at us. So if the stage is set and the lights are on, where's the cast? This brings us to a famous lunch in 1950. A very smart physicist named Enrico Fermi was eating with his colleagues when he looked up from his sandwich and asked one simple, devastating question. Where is everybody? This became known as the Fermi Paradox. If the universe is 13.8 billion years old and our solar system is a relatively young 4.5 billion years, there were literally billions of years for other civilizations to start, evolve, and build incredible things like Dyson spheres or intergalactic Wi-Fi long before we even existed. The math says the galaxy should be crawling with aliens, but we see absolutely nothing. No radio signals, no giant megastructures, and not even a single space McDonald's on the moon. Some people think we're just the first ones to the party. Others think we're living in a giant cosmic zoo, and the aliens are watching us through the glass while we record ourselves eating laundry detergent for internet clout. But there is a darker explanation, a theory that suggests a metaphorical wall exists in the universe, a challenge so difficult that almost no one survives it. Scientists call it the Great Filter. Think of the evolution of life as a cosmic obstacle course. To become a galaxy-spanning civilization, you have to pass certain hurdles. Step 1 is having the right stuff. A planet in a Goldilocks zone with water and a magnetic field so you don't get fried by your own sun. Step 2 is abiogenesis, the moment random chemicals decide to stop being stuff and start being life. This is way harder than it looks. We've tried to do it in labs for decades and still haven't quite cracked the code. Step 3 is the jump to complex cells. On Earth, this took 2 billion years of single-celled organisms just bumping into each other before they figured out how to work together. Step 4 is intelligence and tools. Dolphins are geniuses, but they don't have thumbs, so they aren't exactly building rockets under the sea. The Great Filter theory says that at one of these steps, or maybe a step we haven't reached yet, there is a wall, a filter that catches 99.9% of all life and turns it into a skeleton before it can reach the stars. Now this is where it gets existential. The big question is, where is the filter? Is it behind us or is it ahead of us? If the filter is behind us, that is the we're special scenario. Maybe the hard part was the very beginning. Maybe the jump from single cells to complex life is so incredibly rare that it only happened once in the whole galaxy. If that's true, we are the winners of the cosmic lottery. We've already passed the wall, and the entire galaxy is ours for the taking. We are the old ones that future alien races will tell legends about. But there is scenario B. The filter is ahead of us. This is the we're screwed scenario. This means that life is common and getting smart is easy. But once a civilization gets smart enough to build technology, it inevitably destroys itself. We've had nuclear weapons for less than a century, and we've already come within inches of pressing the delete button on humanity multiple times. Then you have to worry about climate collapse, runaway artificial intelligence, or a supervirus cooked up in a basement. If the filter is in our future, it means that every time a civilization discovers how to harness the atom, they have a near certainty of blowing themselves up before they can leave their home planet. This leads to a really counterintuitive idea that keeps astronomers awake at night. Most people think finding a tiny fossil or a blade of grass on Mars would be the greatest discovery in human history. But to great filter theorists, it would be the worst possible news. Why? Because if we find life on Mars, it proves that starting life is easy. It means the wall isn't at step 1 or step 2. It means the filter must be further down the line, somewhere between where we are now and where we want to go. If we ever find the ruins of an alien city on a distant planet, it isn't a miracle, it's a tombstone for humanity. It means they made it exactly as far as we have, and then they hit the filter. They discovered the same physics we did, built the same machines we did, and then they vanished. The more life we find in the backyard of our solar system, the more likely it is that we are heading toward a brick wall at 100 miles an hour. So, for once in your life, the best thing you can hope for is absolutely nothing. We should want the universe to be a cold, dead, silent void. We want to be the only ones here, because if we are truly alone, it means we might be the only ones who actually survived the obstacle course. The silence of the stars isn't a sign of a dead universe, it might be the universe giving us a head start. Being the only intelligent things in existence is a terrifying responsibility, but it's better than being just another nameless skeleton in a cosmic racing lane. We've spent millions of years evolving, surviving everything from giant space rocks to the invention of the selfie stick, so it would be pretty embarrassing to trip over our own feet now. We are essentially the toddlers of the cosmos, playing with matches in a room made of gasoline. If we can just manage to not blow ourselves up in the next few centuries, the entire galaxy, billions of stars and trillions of planets, is ours for the taking. It is the ultimate high-stakes game of don't destroy yourself, and the prize is literally everything. Maybe we aren't just side characters in some massive intergalactic space opera. Maybe we're the main event, and the rest of the seats in the theater are empty because the show hasn't actually started yet. We've made it past the dinosaurs, the ice ages, and the invention of reality TV. Let's just hope we can make it past ourselves.